Australia is the sixth largest country in the world by total area, the planet's eighth and oldest dry climate inhabited continent. Australia's interior is primarily desert, but if you look closer, you'll see that there are mountain ranges in the southeast and beautiful green rainforests in the northeast. Due to its enormous size and separation from the rest of the globe, it has the moniker island continent, is occasionally referred to as the largest island in the world, and scientists made a startling discovery in Australia that has the potential to change everything. Number 1, we have magnetic termite mounds. The endemic magnetic termite, Amatumis mariombinalis, commonly known as the compass termite, creates mounds that are tall, thin, and aligned like compass needles, although nobody is really sure why or how they do it. Graham Brown, a former curator of insects at the Northern Territory Museum, believes that these formations resemble huge tombstones. They look like massive gray planks of dirt standing on edge, as if they suddenly sprang from the ground vertically as you drive south from Darwin. Despite the name being misleading, termites are not actually magnetic, but there is some evidence proving that these can be influenced by magnetic fields. This particular species of termites lines their homes with the poles of the Earth. The reason for endemic magnetic termite has long been in a mystery. These mounds are built like a compass needle. In one experiment, the termites had begun to construct new mounds where the scientists had buried magnets. However, when they returned years later, the termites had abandoned these mounds. It is possible that the termites could sense the Earth's magnetic field, and the magnets confused their sense of direction. For termites, these mounds resemble apartment complexes. Tens of thousands of these insects may reside in a single nest, which has tiny rooms and galleries with just the right amount of moisture and a comfortable internal temperature. The nest structure is quite clever. Only the edge of the tall, skinny mound faces the sun during the hottest hours of the day, preventing the termites from overheating. Even during summer floods, the termites remain safe inside these unusual homes and continue to feed on the stored food. Next up is gympie. Gympie tree, this seemingly unharmful bush, is actually a nettle. Gympie can be found primarily in tropical rainforests and along creek side paths. There is no cure for this deadly plant's leaves, which deliver one of the world's most agonizing stings. Sometimes its sting is so excruciatingly painful and persistent that people may endure it for years or even commit suicide in an effort to end the suffering. You will experience excruciating pain that has been compared to both being electrocuted and burned with hot acid. These shrubs often reach heights of up to 3 meters, and they have heart-shaped leaves with serrated edges, the plant stems and leaves, or the minuscule hair filaments that carry the unpleasant toxin to your body. Each filament has a tiny bulb at the tip that contains a neurotoxic that may easily break off and pierce human skin. Since the gympie plant's toxin is extremely heat-resistant and chemically stable, even dried-out botanical samples of this plant that have been gathering dust in a museum for a century are still harmful and can sting you. Our next number is Garam. The locals also refer to these falls as Garam, which is another name for battle. It is an uncommon natural phenomenon that can be found close to the shore of Australia's Kimberley region. This ocean phenomenon, which first appeared about 15 years ago, is caused by extraordinarily high tides that squeeze the two little breaks in the Kimberley shoreline. The ocean appears to have been shut off by someone. This waterfall is formed as seawater flows through two short, incredibly tight gorges that are barely 300 meters away from one another. As the tides change, water can build up on one side of the gap or the other, resulting in a 13-foot waterfall. This abyss is easily navigable by boats, and thrill-seekers can gaze at this incredible occurrence. Because these horizontal falls are also reversible, they flow in the other way when the tide turns, making it one of Australia's most deadly currents. Naturalists have taken notice of this waterfall since it is unlike any other in the world, and its narrow seaward gap, which is barely 70 feet wide, has left them speechless. Following up is Kakadu, the historic murder victim. When an Aboriginal male skeleton was discovered by a river in 2014, William Bates, a member of the bark cancer tribe in New South Wales, was able to identify it as such because of the signs of violence that were visible on the bones. When dead remains are discovered, the first thing detectives and forensic specialists do is establish the time of death. At first, it was assumed that this man had been killed during a fight. The discovery supports the theory of intertribal conflict. Another proof is the series of rock paintings discovered where Kakatu's body was recovered. These depict two tribes in different colors and are thought to have been created by Kakadu, which means older brother. According to one theory, the fatal injury was caused by a small, sharpened club, but Westway has pointed towards an iconic Aboriginal symbol, the boomerang, a long, sharp-edged weapon most likely used by Kakadu's enemy using clubs, boomerangs, and shields the bones of Kakadu, whose death was now proven to have been caused by a lethal hit to the head some 800 years ago, offer frightening new information about life, death, and tribal strife in pre-colonial Australia. With this, we end today's episode. Make sure you have subscribed to our channel. Thank you for watching.